Yo, yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Let me go ahead and get this screen set up. Full screen. I think we're good there. And then, hope you guys are having a good morning. And that should be good to go. All right, word. Welcome back, dude. Another week, another set of goals for you guys to crush. But let's get this thing started. So, GM, welcome to GM Chat. It is a little bit later than I typically host these, but it is what it is. We keep things rolling. But I'm SMS here to start your day with Solana Made Simple, the latest on Bitcoin, Solana, what's going on in crypto and Web3 in general, taking a look at prices, any kind of headlines, or anything like that. But mainly today, the Seeker is shipping out. So we're going to highlight and talk about a couple different things on there. So before we get started into the quote of the day, we might as well take a quick look at that. Just a little clip that I keep. Oop. Very excited to talk a little bit more about that, and I can't wait for mine to get in and take a look at, see how the thing actually works, and what's going to be, in store. I think it is the beginning of something good as far as Solana Mobile, and at least that direction going forward. But either way, it is part of the whole puzzle for me as far as what's going on with content, what I'm going to be creating, and kind of tapping into. But even if that is the case. We do have the quote of the day before we tap into the specifics and look at a couple different things regarding that phone. I made a couple posts, a couple tweets. We got some reminders and stuff like that. But the quote of the day is something I always start with, whether it's a stream or a space, trying to get everybody's kind of like mindset and alignment in the same, trajectory, I guess. But you can do everything right, things still go wrong or not according to plan. The key is to never stop doing right, and just to keep going. Something I learned a long time ago is always do the right thing, because when it's time to do the wrong thing, it will be the right thing to do. That's just the process of elimination. You know what I'm saying? So however that fits in your life, always do the right thing. And then when that opportunity comes up, you'll be like, well, I've done everything else, so here's that. But either way, it reminds us that setbacks are part of the journey, no matter what. What matters most is persistence and the commitment to do things right, no matter the outcome. Sticking, to the game plan, that commitment you made to yourself. You can have an entire plan, but it might not be somebody else's plan. So you got to stick to what you can do, what you can control, and that is showing up. Keep showing up, keep moving forward, keep working towards that. Keep, praying, manifest, and do whatever the hell you got to do. But work towards that goal. And we were talking about, we're going to thrive in 2005. Here we are in beginning of August. Where are you guys at with that? You got to ask yourself and be accountable, and you'll figure it out. Results are, dictated a bit on your actions, like what you decide to do. Like, you are definitely in control of that kind of stuff. Like, again, even with the setbacks. So keep pushing forward. For me, I'm a master chef at Marinade Finance, having a lot of fun working with DeFi on Solana, telling you guys about why it's important for you to start staking your Solana. Whether it's 1 or whether it's 110, I don't care. You've got options. Even if it's half a soul, you got options. You can put in liquid staking. So you don't have to start with a giant bag. You can add to it. That's the beauty of it. But I'm also a content lead and marketing lead at DD Gaming Labs. We got Scrolly Game, which is the first pilot kind of game. The goal is with the studio is to create more games. I got a couple of other ones. One being the Card Crush, I think is the name of it. So they're cooking over there, but I'm doing the content and marketing lead, helping out, growing with the interns, the ambassadors. We had a monthly goal or a week. Well, we have monthly goals where, based on your performance and your posts and stuff like that, you get incentivized. And, towards the end, we have that kind of set up. We're working on that program. refining that as we go. But basically, for what they're doing right now is they simply make a post, submit that link, we'll review that, and I'll help critique that along the way. That's where the internship kind of comes in. People ask, what's the point of this? What do we get from doing it? Well, you get experience, you get exposure. If you're looking for a job, go apply somewhere, and if you have what it takes, like obviously, you're going to get that job. The thing about internship is you work without, perform without purpose, have a goal, work on your skill sets, get better at it. And if you become one of the best performers, obviously that's where the job comes in. So it's like people are asking that question. But when it comes to my role in that, it's like I had to struggle the hard way too. So I'm not going to just give it out to the people, show that you want it. And, let's go from there. That's where the reward comes in. Slow cooks are better than no cooks. Like it's always going to be a longer journey. You cut the corners, you try to find hacks. Like that's great, it's fun, but those cut corners, they don't necessarily make a better product. So that's something. Just keep that in the back of your mind, no matter where you're working at. Do the full process. Don't cut corners, round the bases, and you'll be all right. But also working with the Zeus network as the ZWG, the Zeus working group, having a lot of fun with that. And for you guys that don't know, we got a space or a stream that we're hosting on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Let me see if I can pull up the reminder right here, because it kind of goes into everything else as well. There we go. That's the ad right there. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and Jules are going to be going live for Solana Made Simple, episode 2. It's going to be the State of Solana, powered by the Zeus Network. And along with that stream, guys, typically, like you see this one, GM Chat. I like to do these around 9 a.m. We didn't start this till about 11 o'clock, which is cool. But I like to start a little bit earlier, just kind of had a slower morning, which is cool. That's why I start on Sundays. So Mondays aren't that big of a deal. It's just like another day of the week for me. But tomorrow we have 8 a.m. Solana Made Simple, like I said, powered by Zeus Network. Me and Jules are going to be tapping into the state of Solana, what's going on, the things that are working, TPS, all of these fun things that you guys typically overlook because it's not the most exciting. You see the threads, you like the thread, you bookmark them, you forget to look at them. So we're going to be diving into it a little bit deeper and talking about the good stuff, keep it a little bit more entertaining. But breaking it down so everybody can understand. As well as that, guys, I host the daily stream Monday through Friday, and the GM chat and the daily stream. Like, you guys are more than welcome to join into the conversations. These are supposed to be, more of a laid back environment. Anybody's welcome to join this. And if you're just a PFP, you can rock it out just like that. I'd much prefer you to show your face. That's a part of streaming. But like I said, if you guys are ever interested in jumping in, let me know. I'd be more than happy to bring you up here and have a good time. As far as spaces, we have Sunday. Last night I slept through that one, no big deal. I don't think there was much going on. It was kind of like quiet on the timeline, so I ended up watching some stand-up comedy. I've been kind of in a stand-up like routine kick. I don't know, I've been watching a lot of that because it's been funny. I like seeing that kind of stuff. That dude, he's like a redneck guy with long hair. I think his name's Dave or something. I forget exactly, but he's been, I don't know, I watch a bunch of his shit. He's backing me up. But we also have Solana Chillin' Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Me and Marky are hosting that one. More of a community vibe. Probably going to have some topics just because of the things going on in the space. There's different conversations to be had. I might bring them up as the time goes on. And then Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and Solana Dean, he's the founder of DD Gaming. He'll be in there hosting that with me and just kind of talking about what's going on, building wise, network wise, whatever. But it's open to, more or less any kind of the conversation that comes up. Like I said, these are more community spaces, and you guys are more than welcome to join into them. But we keep them going. Big crowds, small crowds, all the same. But with that being said, guys, what else do we got going on here? We got some good price action. Pretty happy to see that. I think people were I don't think they have a bullish enough vision. I don't think they look long term sometimes, because I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. Bruce in the pudding. Let me bring up some charts and we'll take a look into that and open a new tab. I'll pull this up. We'll take a look at Bitcoin real quick. So I had this trend line right here, just these 2 points, and this ended up, bouncing perfectly along here, which is good to see, whatever. But we did have this channel, and we kind of talked about this. This is the gap right here. So when you zoom in, anybody looking at this on a closer time frame, it's not exact. Like I said, I don't really care if it's super duper exact, but my point is right here. We talked about this before. If we're in this channel and it just keeps ranging across here, if we don't bounce up above and like jump into the 120 range, then we're going back. We might test 110. That's all the way down here where this broke out, right? That's what we were kind of looking at and seeing. Well, this damn near came down and tested that top right there. I mean, it almost did. This peak right here, and it bounced right there. Then you have a nice reversal W pattern, double top or double bottom, and it reversed perfectly. I mean, it's a nice trend right there. I mean, you might have wanted to see the inverted head and shoulders where you have, shoulder, shoulder, and then the head right there. If that becomes the inverted shoulder, it doesn't always have to be structurally perfect for you to see it. You can kind of find your points. Maybe use these ones, and I don't know, whatever you got to do. Not my argument there, but overall, I mean, I'm just not bearish on Bitcoin right now. I just think it's in a good position. I think seeing these kind of points of accumulation, a dip like that, fine, whatever. Do what you got to do. Like freak people out. It's cool. But we were expecting this. We were expecting this range. You're going to have to find some price discovery. You're going to have to find some support and resistance. If you look all the way back here, it's bouncing at that same exact point. So, I mean, we expected this last week. It's nothing new. As soon as we ripped up all the way up here and you had a couple, bounces right on this line, I was like, okay, where's it going to go? So good to see that it found that point. Good to see that it's stuck to, what the chart was expecting. I mean, I think that tells you a lot about where we're headed. So nothing really to worry about on that end. Might as well take a look at Solana while we are at it. But I guess the reason to look at it on that kind of scope is like, if you're trading leverage or if you're looking to see how the market's trying to position itself. Otherwise, like, you really don't have anything to worry about. Not even knowing what the price is probably, bullish enough. Let's go. So, I mean, everything looks pretty normal, pretty standard. You got your W, you got the cup and handle situation, you got the handle breaking down, you got your cup here. So now this is supposed to run all the way up to this leg from this bottom right here off the handle since you made the top. Now it shows the redirection or the reversal, not redirection. Fuck is this, hockey? You got yourself a little bit of a reversal pattern showing. So you just keep it cooling. I mean, the goal is that this just continues to work its way up to here. Like that's kind of what you're looking at. I mean, you could probably even adjust this down here now. I say 270 something. So 270 to 300, but that's your top. You can look at this one because that takes you up here, which isn't a bad target. You see what I mean? Fill this gap from here to here. Wherever that fills, that's where you're looking at it to run up. But either way, you still have higher lows if you're looking at the full trend. Chart's not looking bearish at all. You're just selling off a little bit and it comes down and finds support where you should. So I like it. I'm happy with it. But on top of that, well, let's just look at this bad boy. You guys probably heard me talking about Troll before. I literally gave you the play. Like I've shown this. I think it was 2 months ago. Kind of putting this out in the timeline just because I liked it. I thought it was a good meme. I thought it was a funny meme, and apparently the rest of the world does too. Up to 94.7 million on the market cap. You got 27,000 holders. So I'm just gonna do a quick search, just for fun. Let's go to my profile here. I'm not like a big meme coin guy either. I just found one that I thought like, this one, if anything, is going to do pretty well. It's probably this, just because it looks funny. It's good. June 9th. Let's see how far back we can go. I'm just curious. So far, it looks like June 9th. I thought it was a little bit further, but either way, that's still cool. I had to go back further than that. I think that's just the internet, but either way, let's see. No, there it is. I was trying to look for a specific chart, which is funny. This is what I drew. So June 9th, put this one out there. I just said, hey, this looks pretty good. And I mean, there's a bunch of different posts about this. Let's see. Any old ones? Any charts? No. But I did do a video of this on TikTok and YouTube as well. So, I mean, May. All right, here's one. May 31st. Put this one out there. I mean, it was it's a pretty good meme, you know? Yeah, I guess that's the oldest one, May 31st. Yeah, so same thing. Wimpy underdogs. Yep. June 2nd. That's pretty old. May 26th. Damn, this goes back far. 4, Troll Harder, 7. All right, well, you guys get the point here. We've been talking about Troll for quite a while, and check it out. Ta-da. And troll more, trade less. That's the thesis. This is my biggest meme coin bag too, which is awesome. Aside from Bonk, obviously Bonk is one of my good bags, but Troll just seemed like one of those plays that was a long term, not long term, but like, well, I guess it is longer term because I think we're going much higher. But it's one of those you just had to believe type thing. Here's Bonk, nice W formation, fill the gap, handle down here, launch it from there. That should be so probably take you back up to this top right here from this leg. Looks pretty textbook. I mean, I'm so bullish on Bonk. It's just like buy and hold. Don't no really reason to think about much else going on. It's cool to see what they do, but overall, it's like you're battling with the launch pad. I think Pump is going to do great. Like I bought a bag of that at the bottom. I thought it was worth it. I mean, I made a post the other day. Let me see if I find that post about like obvious coins to enter. Yeah, this didn't get much traction, but I think people are going to fade it. I'm going to repost it again. All right, so this right here, we've got Marinade down at 8 cents. I think that's a pretty clear entry. Bonk, Jupe. So I guess we'll just look at all these as well. Because we're hanging out. So Jupe was one that I put it down here at, where did I put it? At 47 cents. We're at 47 right now. So I think that this is a good entry because if you zoom all the way back here to like the low, it was 47 or so, like when it dipped and then ran all the way up here. So it's been retesting this. It's got the double bottom showing the W formation, shows you a clear signal and a bullish, indicator that this is probably going to run and probably reclaim, 70 cents to $1. And more than likely it's going to happen. I mean, it's Jupiter. We got Jupuary coming up and honestly only a few 4 fucking months, dude. So like, think about it. What happens when this engine starts to kick again? Everybody uses Jupiter almost every single solitary fucking day. It's a clear fucking winner. 47 cents is an offering that you have only had two other times. So, or three. All right, let's take a look at Marinade real quick. Show you some of the reasons that we're keeping our eyes on this. Well, also, mainly, I fucking, work with them and I'm bullish on them. So, why the hell would I not want to talk about this since I know that they're cooking? I know that they got a solid team. I know that they want to see this thing be successful. They've just had some voting talking about, different implications of holding, governing, yada, yada, yada. So let's just take a look at the overall chart. Sure, it's down. It's at the bottom. But what have you seen, Pengu? What have you seen successful companies do time and time again? Rebuild from the bottom up. And I mean, the leader in Solana stake, you can only imagine that they're going to want to keep pushing back with the community and growing this thing out. So just keep your eyes on this. I'm telling you right now, we gave you Marinade at 8 cents. We're at 9 cents right now. Sure, it's only a little bounce up, but it's higher than it was. We're just gonna keep our eye on this one. I'm gonna bookmark this, put that in a folder. Then we got Bonk. Bonk is an easy play. We looked at that. It's clear, just buy and hold for a long time. If you believe in Solana, believe in Bonk. Pretty clear. Pengu's a good example. 3 cents right here. Let's see where Pengu's chilling at right now. 3.5 cents. Let's take a look at a little Chartsky. I'm not gonna draw any patterns. Excuse me. Or any extra indicators than you already need to see. Let's see. Well, you can see the chart. Came all the way down here, rode the bottom. People started believing in it a little bit. It became a little bit stronger, and it developed the floor where it was finding support and resistance. Now, just keep this in mind as I show you the next chart. Now, once people started seeing hey, this thing isn't going anywhere. This was the bottom. This was the opportunity to get back in. Same thing with Jupiter. It showed you a bottom. It ran, and then it came back down over a longer, higher, volume and market caps. Sure. But now it's at a point where why wouldn't you believe in it where it's at now? There's people in the timeline that literally change their lives believing in Jupiter. So keep that in mind. Now we have Pengu. Huge IP, huge brand, huge everything when it comes to the space. And let's take a look at the chart here. You're down here at the bottom. And now you've been running up here to this top here around 4.5 cents or so. Now you're at 3.5 cents. So you do have a little bit of a downturn. But again, when you look at cups and handles, this is pretty much straight across here. So you look at this distance from, 0.004 all the way up to 4 cents. So you have a huge leg of this to run off here. If this is a true cup and handle and it runs up, it typically does this distance. So I'd be watching out for that. So this is another offering, another entry point for you to get in. Are you going to get all the way down here? Probably not likely. Not with just the way the market's going. We get some downturn with everything. We get Bitcoin, close to 100,000. Sure, you probably see a little bit of retracement with things like this, but this is a huge play. It's not a meme coin anymore. It's a meme coin, or it's a infrastructure utility type coin, a brand coin, whatever. I don't know. It's a huge company wearing a meme coin costume, basically. Because Pengu on Solana. What do you mean? Just think about it like that. Not shares of a company, but you definitely got something to work with there. Just keep your eyes on it. Now, again, keep a look at this chart. Now take a look at this. I made a video about this, about Bonk versus this. I could care less about the trade wars. I don't give a shit whose platform's doing what. To be completely honest with you, I'm not into it like that. That's not me. So we gave you 0.002, whereas 0.029 almost 0.003. But my point is, let's take a look at the whole thing, the big picture, because we're never just going to stare at the bottom and, this is what it's doing. Doesn't this kind of give you Pengu vibes? I mean, you don't have to look at the name. It does start with a P, so that's cool. But my point is, sell off all the way to the bottom. Everybody flooded it. Everybody dismissed it. Everybody said, no. But at the same time, everybody's talking about it because it's a company that did a bunch of $1 billion in revenue. They're at 2.9 billion on the market cap on the floor. They got 2 billion in reserves to, deploy onto this with buybacks and all of that shit. To think this coin doesn't recover, do you think the pump fund doesn't, really compete and take another point where it takes top market cap is crazy? Buying a bag of this at this point seems like a no-brainer. I've been telling people, take a look at this. If you fade the calls, feel free. Like it's just opportunities. It's not financial advice. I don't have any paid telegrams or groups. I'm not one of those people that just has to tune in. I put this shit straight out there on the timeline, and I talk about it in real time because, like, take a look at the chart. It's crawling along the bottom. Now take a look at the chart. Looking like it's taking a little bit of a leg up. Looking like it wants to move a little bit. So, sure, it's at the bottom. It's not everybody's favorite cup of tea. They extracted, but at the same time, you're trying to extract by having any other coin go up and investing into it. You're not sure. You might care about it. You might believe in it, but like you also wanted to make your bags go up. So don't hate the game player. Just whatever. Do your thing. All right. Next, we got. Might as well take a look at Popcat since we're on a little bit of a run. 30 minutes in, guys. Got 24 of you hanging out. Appreciate your support. And let's see what we got here. Good movement on Popcat from the bottom. It kind of just shows you that the core community is here and they're like forming right here, at least support. So definitely looks like an entry. 20 or 30 cents for Popcat. It's not on my list. Let's take a look at Flog. I think that one's the next one on the list that I have here at 3 cents. I believe in Flog. It's taken a little bit longer to do any kind of significant work, but you're already up 1 cent if you bought it down there at 3, which is dope to see. But I think that it does crawl along the bottom and at some point starts to make these, these next legs up here. Like these areas right here. 20 cents and so. Like I think it just, if you buy and just kind of forget, this is one of those plays I think that eventually it runs up, you're like, oh shit, I got a bag. But I think that's everything that I put on this list. I mean, there's a ton of them, but a lot of these, it's just pretty obvious plays for me. I can see it, clear as day. All of these are up from, well, pretty much every single one is up a little bit. Let this list cook. I mean, it could just be like a little SMS index bag. Imagine that. Keeping it simple. But we have people creating things like that, which is dope to see, which, also creates the opportunity for competition. So who knows? It's something I've been kind of considering, finding bags and keeping an eye on the market. Like I'll go through all of my lists that I see here, just to see like where is the temperature at? Like is Tickcoin making a floor again? Are they doing anything significant? Are we going to see a bunch of titties on the timeline again? Who knows? But, if you take a look at the big picture, you see where things fall at. Down here's, if it does any of this movement, you'd be glad that you bought a bag where nobody's paying attention. Rizzo's got a lot of attention. It's one I brought up significant different points. It's tied to Elon. We talked about this last week. I talked about it as a coin. It's like you don't always catch these, but if you buy the floor, people kind of dismiss it because it's a shit coin. It's tied to SpaceX. It's tied to Elon. It's just got that thing to it. 100 or 11 million market cap right now. 32,000 holders on here. It's starting to look like it's making like substantial floor, crawling all the way along here for all of these months, coming back to life right here. Maybe it comes back down and then it does it again, but you're not going to have many points to get in is all I'm saying. It's up 95%. Definitely not a buy today, in my opinion. Maybe if you believe so strongly in it, you look into it, you do your own research. Haha, yes, is a play for you, but just taking a look at the chart. It's late entry for these moves, but if you're looking higher, you got longer expectancy with something like this, sure, go crazy. There's other opportunities in the market though. So let's see Slurf. Slurf's one where, the team's still active. The timeline, you still see posts almost every other day. They got good memes. They got good art. Good lore, good story. Burnt $11 million in Solana. So you got that. It's kind of crazy. Huge sell-off. But this is, again, one of those coins you forget about it. They're not doing anything significant. They haven't seen much upside or any kind of trend on top of that. But before you know it, they make that move. And you're like, shit, I heard about that. I saw about that. Or saw something about that. Now we have, like, Nub is another one. I see it on Instagram more than I see it on the timeline, more than I see it anywhere else. But the views and the impressions that they get are significant. 31 million market cap. You can see how they've recovered. You can see how they have, continued to go. But I think that higher for longer. And the trend is, I mean, you guys are seeing it. All of these are starting to, recover their build. Old things are becoming relevant again. This is the point where you take $1,000 and you throw it at your 10 favorite and you let it sit and cook. And if you want to go lower and dollar cost average, have another time to buy the dip, do $100 and then $100 at another point. Not saying financial advice, but it's like a simple, easy way for you to just not think about this shit and just be able to have a watch list. And I mean, if you're seeing things start to heat up like this, you're seeing Solana, retraced and kind of like recovered its price down around 160. You see Bitcoin still above 110. You put two and two together, these things are going to start to change up. I am curious to see what the dominance is. I mean, it's not like a tell-all. It is a good indicator, something to keep in mind. Might as well take a look at these other coins. Haven't even talked about the phone at all, which is funny. All right, so fear and greed is at 50%. You're going to see some movement. The dominance is Bitcoin's at 60.9%. So that's down just a hair, up in the last week, I think, but down overall in the last month or so. Market caps are growing slowly. Fear and greed index is at 52. Altcoin season just heating up. I think that this is the point where you start to really position yourself. If you're asking like straight up, like where do we think we're at? Like let's say third to fourth inning right here, like fifth inning, going into that, going in hot. We got Duran as the closer. If you guys are watching, MLB and watching the Phillies, boy, my man closed out the game at 103 mile an hour. Woo, on fire, boy. We got Bitcoin $114,843,000. I'm an idiot. $114,839. I'm an idiot. XRP at $3.02. We have BNB at $760. Solana down to 165. I think everything is going to reverse and leg up from here. Tron down to 33 cents. We got Cardano at 74 cents. Dogecoin at 20 cents. Stellar 41 cents. Hyper Liquid down to 38 cents. Sweet down to $3.50. Chainlink 1688. So on and so forth. Do your own research and take a look at these coins. Overall, it looks like Bitcoin took a little bit of a dip, scared some people out of their positions. I think we could keep climbing into the fall and we hit all-time highs, sometime before Thanksgiving. We'll see how things go. But again, I think that the cycle thesis is a little shot. I think we're in a position where we're going to see these markets just extend, maybe have a little bit of a dip, maybe liquidity cycles is something you see, not, like rockets and crashes in the market like we typically have seen previously. I think it's just liquidity cycles finding support and resistance. Yo, how'd I get booted out of my own stream? That's crazy. Whatever. But again, I think we're in a liquidity cycle. I think that the market's going to continue to pump. Bitcoin, if you're looking at tops for me, like 150 to 180,000, maybe we go there and tip a bit higher. I don't know if 200's in the ballpark. I think other coins are going to catch up and kind of keep that a little bit more relatively stable, but like still growth. I think the altcoins run up. Bitcoin or Ethereum over 4,000 seems like it has to happen. It's been teasing at it. Solana over 300 up to 420. That'd be cool to see that, but over 300 for sure. Maybe like test between 350 to 400. Maybe I'm not bullish enough, but I think in this liquidity cycle, this pocket that you're going to see, that's probably where it goes. It's likelihood. Once we make some higher supports and resistance levels and places where this price can, discover itself, that's going to be evident where it goes. But until then, like we can't really. We got to see some different highs in the alts before things move. But seeing the meme coins get traction, seeing that there's interest, like I'm even talking to a guy that's looking to invest right now. Like he was hearing me talk about it and some of the plans that I have, and he was like kind of bullish on it. And he was like, "Hey, what do I do with a couple $100, whatever, $1,000 or yada yada yada?" So I was like, "Let's get on the call, see where you're at, and like how much time do you have?" But I'm gonna set him up with a wallet, gonna set him up with everything himself. But he wants me to manage it himself and do that. So With that, I'll be able to kind of make some content and follow like a whole entire portfolio, but not risky, but like I will tell him like you should probably take consideration in some of these positions, like all these plays that I just put out there. Those are very clear. If you have time, if you put $1,000 in there and it hits a 5x, like you're gonna outperform some of these people trying to trade day to day. And all you have to do is pick a couple winners. And when there's clear indicators, there's clear communities. Like it's an easy play. Like, it really doesn't take that much. And I'm not much of a meme coin guy, but there are some obvious options right now. But with that being said, guys, it is 40 minutes. We're going to take a quick look at this video one more time, and then we'll tap into it because the phone. All right, let me pull up the article. It's a post I made a few weeks ago, but it's definitely, I made it in May. But not like I'm ahead of the game or anything like that, pimping, but it's like got some stuff to take a look at here. All right, so this is the Solana Seeker post I made. What is it? Back in May, like I said, talking about it was going to be shipped, but the new SKR token and the decentralized vision of Solana Mobile, like taking the walls down, taking all of that. We got Helium that kicks into effect as well, with something pretty bullish on. But we're not just building a phone; we're building the future of open decentralized mobile. That's what they kind of like hinted at and alluded to. So some of the other things is the global launch, the second gen Solana smartphone, the Seeker, begins shipping today. The next gen features building on the original Saga. Seeker adds Seeker ID, the Seed Vault wallet, and enhanced Solana D App Store while supporting the Saga Genesis token. But I see a bunch of messages popping up. Oh, I got to go join a meeting, guys. So look into this this post here, and then I'll catch up with you guys later on. All right, take care of yourselves. Peace.